Well, it's already Green Kami here, and this is my review for Bleach Chapter 532, Everything But the Rain, Part 5, The White Noise. So this chapter was fucking awesome, okay, I'm just gonna say that first. So we started off straight from the last chapter. Aizen's talking about how he pretty much copied the Ryatsu blocking cloak from Urahara. And then, you know, it just shows the flashback to when that happened, to when Urahara was wearing it. Then Isshin notices that this was not a slash from a hollow, it was a slash from a Shinigami, and he turns around looking to see who it is, but he can't see Aizen because obviously he's blocking his own Ryatsu, and I assume he's doing something with Kyokusugetsu as well. Then after that, you know, Aizen explains how Isshin won't be able to use his Bankai now because it's too much of a burden on his body, which sucks, means we won't get to see it, but I'm sure we will get to see it soon enough. I think this is just kind of hinting at it. Then, you know, Isshin and the Hollow continue their fight. They just attack and, you know, they're just fighting basically, yeah. And then Misaki shows up, but doesn't really get to do anything. She's like, what's that? And then it goes back to Isshin and the Hollow fighting. Isshin manages to cut off his arm and tells the Hollow that he's pretty strong even without his other arm. And then they continue to fight. I think Isshin's still in Shikai at this point. He mentions that he can't use his Bankai because it's a burden on him as well, not just Aizen who says that. But then all of a sudden Misaki uses a Quincy bow, and this shocks both Isshin and Aizen, and Aizen's like, oh, Quincy, interesting, this is going to be interesting. And then Isshin's just like, what the hell? So she fires at the Hollow and she keeps on missing, so the Hollow decides to attack her, and she basically lets it attack her. And when the shoulders, I think, when the Hollow's like attacking her, I think it's biting her shoulder, kind of like a zombie kind of shit going on here. And this was her plan the whole time, because she says, I got you, and then kind of makes this weird looking arrow gun thing in her hand and shoots the Hollow in the head. The chapter ends there. Now that was a very quick summary because that's everything that happened. So, despite that, it was still a fucking epic chapter, and it's going to get a high rating from me. Now, I just think, I like where everything's fitting into place now. We're finding out so much about Isshin and Misaki and Aizen, and how Aizen's just that complete troll, bastard, you know. But we also learned that Isshin's Bankai obviously will hurt him if he's injured enough, which means when we see his Bankai, it's gonna be fucking epic. But Aizen also mentioned that if a captain can beat one of his creations with just a Shikai, then it's a failure. That makes me wonder, how fucking strong is Shunsui if he managed to defeat the top Hollow in Shikai? Because, I mean, Stark wasn't a failure. He was like, I think from the looks of it, he was the most complete Arrancar. So, Shunsui must be powerful if he can do that. Which means, I mean, if we all think Isshin's powerful, and Misaki, I mean, if they can beat this guy without Bankai, then Shunsui must be powerful. I'm not saying that this Hollow is stronger than Stark, obviously, but I mean, still to defeat the top Espada and possibly Arrancar with Shikai, obviously Shunsui's got a hell of a lot of power, which is probably the reason he's Captain Commander and no one else. I personally believe he would be stronger than every other captain, other than maybe Yamamoto, but he's dead now, so yeah. But yeah, great chapter, really it was. I've read it 3 times already. I forgot to mention that they all Aizen and his group basically talk about how the Hollow is, you know, white, but it's done and completely black, like, you know. I just found that kind of interesting. I wonder why they made it black, or was it already black, or I don't know. But either way, I know it says like 1,000,000 times already, but it's only because it's true, and that's good. That it was a great chapter. My predictions for next week is basically from the first flashback we got, you know, at the end of that chapter where we see Isshin on the ground. I think it's going to lead right into that. What'll happen probably after this is the Hollow will probably still survive this, and it'll either attack Isshin, or Aizen will attack Isshin, or Gin or Tosen, which will knock Isshin to the ground, and then Misaki will probably finish off the Hollow then, because we do know Misaki kills the Hollow. Well, or so it's hinted at anyway. So I think that'll happen, and I think that'll be the end of that part of the flashback. I don't think the flashback's over. I think we're going to get a few more, but I think that'll happen, and then Ryokan will show up, and then they'll bring Ishin back to the Ishida Manor, and they'll heal him up, and then there'll be a few questions asked, and then the captains are going to notice that Ishin's missing. Or the Shinigami or Matsumoto and it's a guy will probably note that Ishin's been missing for a long time, and they'll probably report that, and then there'll probably be a search party sent out, and then that's when Ishin will decide to stay behind and stay with Misaki and all that. And then probably a few chapters later we'll just kind of show them, getting married and birth of Ichigo and stuff like that. Yeah, that'll happen most likely within the next few chapters. This point we didn't get to his Bankai, but to be honest I wasn't really expecting to see his Bankai anyway. Yeah, Raiken's going to show up next chapter, I'd imagine. That's pretty much it. I know this is a really short review, but I mean, I've kind of talked about everything I could talk about. Yeah, nothing else really to talk about except I don't really know. But yeah, I'm gonna give this chapter a 9.5 out of 10, which is pretty close to a 10 out of 10, but not quite there. There's nothing bad about the chapter or anything. I'm not gonna give it 10 out of 10, Yeah, anyway, that's the end of this review. This is Green Kami. Talk to you later.